Welcome to the channel, it's Egwin here from Beyond Systems. Welcome to the first challenge day. So, what's happening here? For those of you who do not yet know, this month I'm running a series where every single day I share one exercise, one movement nugget, one perceptual nugget, one relational nugget between consciousness and movement, and so on and so on. And this time I chose to do something differently, which means throughout the week we are doing quote-unquote normal exercises that range from absolute beginner's level to slightly advanced to more advanced level, that have to do with mobility, with strength, with flexibility aspects, with perception training, physical perception training, proprioceptive training, and so on and so on. And if you're interested in that, then please check out the videos that are up there already. And if you want to stay up to date, please subscribe and hit the notification bell as well, and also like and share the video, of course. Now, what's special about today is that upon request or a gentle trigger from one of you guys, one of my subscribers, I chose to incorporate not just one challenge, but a couple of challenge days. Some of those will be purely coordinationally challenging. Some of them will challenge your flexibility or mobility. And so today is the first day. It's quite an advanced movement. You need quite a lot of perception, quite a lot of control in your legs already. And you also need a certain amount of mobility for this to work. But there are certain ways you can make it easier for you at the beginning. Now let's jump right into this challenge. I'm gonna work with this yoga block here. Yoga blocks tend to be rather light, which isn't the most accommodating thing for this challenge. The heavier the object is, the better your chances at the beginning not to lose it. Why? Because it gives you more proprioceptive feedback, which means that you feel more precisely where you are at in the movement and how to counteract if the block should come into this area of, oh, it might fall off. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about lying down on the ground, having one leg straight up and placing the block, or if you try this for the first time, maybe something slightly heavier like a book. I wouldn't suggest a hardcover book, because if it falls, it might hurt certain parts of you that you still value. But something slightly heavier, yet still with a smooth surface like a yoga block would be interesting. The challenge is to turn from the back lying position like I am right now all the way to my belly without losing the block on the foot. This is the first part of the movement. So from here, I'm gonna try to turn out towards the side. I observe what's happening in the block. I roll over. And I see that I find myself all the way in a position lying on my belly. Now try to reverse the process. Try to push the leg back up and roll all the way back onto your back. And then do it on the other side. There is a possibility to turn all the way around, but it's extremely challenging because you really need a lot of hip mobility for it. So you can go all the way down here. Let's see if I can do it right now. And then you can try to roll over even further. So you have to fiddle your leg through, turn this leg around, and then push it all the way back up. And there we go, one complete turn. And then again, of course, you can try to reverse this whole process all the way back to the belly, and then again all the way back up to the ceiling. All right, so this is, and then obviously doing this whole thing on both legs. So this is the challenge for this weekend, for this Sunday now. Have a beautiful time trying this out. Are there any pointers that I can give you? Yes, there are some. First of all, the most important thing when it comes to balancing the block, this really challenges the mobility you have in your ankle and your proprioception. The proprioception is the sensoric feedback of your body to your brain. So how much pressure there is in the joints, where exactly my joints, my bones are in relation to each other. That's the proprioception, as opposed to the interoception. Interoception, for example, would be more of a sensation of, for example, your blood pulse or your bowel movement and stuff like that. That's more interoception. Runs through a completely different neurological system. Interoception runs mainly via free nerve endings, whereas proprioception runs through specialized sensors in the body. And there are a couple of them. There are 4 different main ones. And so, all right, when we are talking about the yoga block, like I said before, it's relatively light. If you have something heavier on your foot, this also triggers those proprioceptive sensors a lot more, which means you get a better feedback neurologically of how the weight on your foot is actually balanced, which will make it easier at the beginning. All the coordination in terms of so that the block doesn't fall down, this fine-tuning has to be done with the forefoot in terms of invasion, evasion, flexion, dorsiflexion, all of those tiny moves, maybe even with the toes, those you have to control down here. The rest is organizing your body. When I say organizing your body, so for example, lying down, having the block up here, and now just saying, okay, I'm gonna turn my leg, that's not gonna work. Because at some point, you just can't turn your leg any further. It's impossible. So you also have to mind your upper body. Your upper body has to come into this game as well. So you bring your block up. You start to turn the leg, but you also start to organize your hip in such a way that more range of motion is possible and that you can actually place that foot down on the ground. Then you have to fiddle the other leg through. And now, without looking at it, it's even more difficult if, like what I did right now, my foot turns up and the block will fall. So that is an interesting phase where you can choose either to come down, try to look at the block as long as possible, level it out before you bring your upper body down, or you can choose not to look at the block and simply rely on your proprioception, the sensation of where your foot is at, where your block is at, in order to complete this task without the visual sense that we typically rely on so much in order to stabilize and to orient ourselves. And that is what this exercise is all about. You have to organize your legs, you have to roll your body, and yes, there is a certain amount of mobility in the legs necessary in order to get it done. If you lack a certain basic amount of mobility, then this exercise simply won't work. But still, like I said, you can support yourself with something heavier that's not slippery, and then it's more forgiving when you do this. Like I said, it's an advanced exercise, but it's one of the challenges of this time. If you want more exercises like this, more challenges, and also more training components, stay up to date. Have a beautiful time trying this out, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.